Hello dear students, today we are going to begin with chapter 3 of class 7. The name of the chapter is data handling. We have already learnt in the previous classes how to deal with various kinds of data. The collection, recording and presentation of data help us to organize our experiences and draw inferences from them. So in this chapter, we will take one more step towards learning how to do this. So let's begin. Data is the plural of the word datum, which means a single piece of information. Collection of facts and numbers gathered to get some information is called data. So data collected directly from the individuals is called primary data, whereas the data collected by one individual and used by other individuals is called secondary data. You have seen several kinds of data through newspapers, magazines, television and other sources. You also know that all data give us some sort of important information. For analyzing a numerical data, representative value plays a vital role. Representative value or central value of a group of data is the value representing the entire data. Representative value is important in everyday life. In everyday life, we are very interested in batting averages and test averages in cricket. Adults are interested in salary and workload averages. Most commonly used measures of central value are arithmetic mean, median, and mode. Arithmetic mean or simply mean, which is also commonly called average, is nothing but the measure of central tendency. So to find the mean of a given data, just add the measures of the data together and divide by the number of measures which are added together. As you can see in the example, it is an array of numbers. There are total 9 numbers. The sum of all these numbers is 139. So to find the average or mean or arithmetic mean, I will divide the sum by 9. So the average is 15.444, which can be rounded off to 2 numbers. Median is the value of middle item of a given data arranged in ascending or descending order. So to find the median of a given data, M for median, M for middle term, arrange the items in ascending or descending order. If there is an odd number of items, median is the value of the middle term. As you can see in the example here, in the first example, the number of values are odd, 1, 3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the median is the middle term, that is 6. But if there are even number of items, add the values of the 2 middle items and divide the sum by 2. So if you see in the example, another example of an even number of values, so the median is the average of 4 and 5 together, which is 4.5. Mode, as the name suggests, most often. Mode is the value of the item that occurs most frequently. To find the mode of a data, determine the number of instances of each item of the data. The item that has most instances in the data is the mode. As shown in the example, 9 shows up the most. So the mode of the data is 9. There may be more than one mode when 2 or more items have maximum instances. Moreover, mode does not exist if no item has more than one instance. Range, as the word literally means. Range is the difference between the largest and the smallest observation. So in the given data, the highest observation is 16 and the lowest one is 13. So the difference. So we can see here that some students are holding few numbers in their hands. So these kind of observations which are recorded are in the form of a raw data. When the data is organized, so we organize them with the help of tally marks. So the number of times a particular observation occurs is called frequency, and we represent frequency distribution table with the help of tally marks. Tally marks are in bunches of 5 each. Further, we represent the data in the form of bar graph so that they become more noticeable and easy to understand. So, what is actually a bar graph? It is a pictorial representation of a numerical data by a number of bars, rectangles of uniform or equal width, erected horizontally or vertically with equal spacing between them. Now let's move on. If we have two sets of data and have to answer questions which involve comparison between two sets, we take the help of a double bar graph. We have two bars together for the same variate, one bar from each set of data. Now we need to understand two important things related to double bar graph. One is interpretation. When the double bar graph is already given to us and we are asked a certain set of questions related to the given bar graph, we need to interpret from the bar graph which is given to us. That is known as interpretation. While if the data is given to us, two sets of data for comparison, and we need to draw it in the graph paper, this is known as presentation of data through double bar graph. A double bar graph is used to display two sets of data on the same graph. For example, if we want to show the number of girls and number of boys in different classes right from class 5th to 9th, we would use a double bar graph. The information in a double bar graph is related and it compares one set of data to another. Moreover, the double bar graph splits the data into two parts, boys and girls, on a single bar graph using the same scale. So, we can use double bar graph for comparative analysis. In our daily life, we use the word probability or chance quite frequently. So, we say that probably today will be a hot day. It may rain tomorrow. There is a chance of his standing first in the examination. Or if we throw a coin, head or tail can appear. So all these statements involve some uncertainty. So a measure of uncertainty is provided by a branch of mathematics called theory of probability. This uncertainty can be measured numerically by means of probability. An experiment in which we know all the possible outcomes but cannot predict the exact result of any trial is called a random experiment, or we can say it can also be called as experimental probability. If the occurrence of an event is certain, it is a sure event. That means probability of such an event will always be 1, while probability of an impossible event is always 0. So indirectly, probability always lie between 0 and 1. So if we want to define probability, the ratio of chances of occurrences to that of total number of possible outcomes in performing an experiment is called the probability of an event. A quick recap. So what we have learned in this chapter, what is the meaning of data, followed by when we organize data, we are able to calculate the central value or representative values of a given data, that is mean, median and mode. And finally, we have learned how to interpret or present a double bar graph or do comparison of two set of values. Then the last step is to find the probability or the chance of occurring an event. Thank you so much.